Hey everyone, Professor Davis here from ChemSurvival.com and the YouTube channel ChemSurvival. And today I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about the new elements that we heard so much about in January of 2016. If you look closely at the periodic table as it exists today, you'll notice that there are 4 elements down in the bottom right corner that have 3-lettered symbols instead of 2-lettered symbols. Now this is a code, it's a clue to us that these elements have no official name yet because their existence has yet to be confirmed, even though we know they should exist based upon the structure of the atom. Now those 3-letter codes stand for generic names: unobtanium, 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 and unobtanium. Kind of boring names. And we'd like to give them something prettier, but we reserve that privilege for the people who first discover or create these elements. So what's going on right now? Why is it taking so long to get names for these elements when some of them were made as early as 2004 and their existence was verified in January? Well, what's taking so long is that there's a process that needs to be gone through, a process governed by the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, sometimes called IUPAC. The IUPAC is a professional standards organization. They exist to make recommendations about, among other things, what we call certain substances, to be sure that we're all using the same names to describe the same elements. Before any element can have its formal name assigned, IUPAC first needs to verify that that element was in fact created and detected in a laboratory. Usually this means repeating the experiment either in that laboratory or, and even better, in its second laboratory to be absolutely sure that the result is accurate. Now, once IUPAC is convinced that the element has actually been made and detected, they'll credit the original discovery of that element to the first publisher to publish their work. Once that credit has been made, they'll invite that discoverer to suggest a name for the element, which will go back to IUPAC. Now, they have 6 months after the verification of their elemental discovery to do this, which means that we're still well within that window here in April of 2016. After that's done, IUPAC will then review the name by committee and consult with about 15 other standards organizations before making the names available for public comment. At that point, the names can finally be verified and assigned. So it's going to take us a little while to get there. But the discoverers can't just give it any name they want to. They still have to follow a set of rules that are established by IUPAC in 2002 most recently. The new 2002 guidelines say that elements must be named after a mythological character or concept, a mineral or similar substance, a place or geographical region, a property of that element, or a famous scientist. Now furthermore, the guidelines stipulate that the element's name must end in IUM. This is going to be a point of some contention because elements 117 and 118 would belong to the halogens and the noble gases respectively. These elements typically end in INE and ON respectively. So we'll have to see how that little battle fleshes out at the end because we'll have to change the rules in order to give them those names. Now those names notwithstanding, there are plenty of popular names that aren't going to fly based upon these rules. Common names: Lois, Chuck, Susan. Sorry, you guys are out of luck because even if you are a famous scientist, these names don't end in IUM. Fun names like Jumbonium, Ninjonium, Osmium, and Surprisium aren't going to work either because they don't accurately describe a specific person or a specific property of the element. Even crowd favorite unobtanium won't work because if we're naming the element, we've obviously obtained it. So it doesn't accurately describe a property of any element that will ever be named. So don't hold your breath to see this one on the periodic table either. Even legitimate names like honium can't be used because honium was once used for an element before receiving its proper name. So in certain instances, certain scientists will never see their name on the periodic table. A terrible shame. But based upon these rules, the discoverers will have an opportunity to suggest a name. And we'll have to wait quite a while to see what that name is, and even longer for it to get final approval. In the meantime, we'll be using unobtanium, 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 and unobtanium to describe these elements, probably for quite some time. Sorry to burst your bubble on that one, folks, but it should be a really fun debate to watch, especially when these names become public. I'll be looking, and I hope you will too. That's it for now, everybody. I'm Professor Davis from ChemSurvival.com, the YouTube channel ChemSurvival. See you on the next video.